guest for the evening and long-time friend of AVI, Wurundjeri Elder Bill Nicholson, who will do...
Hi, welcome everyone. Tonight we are beginning a series of Let's Talk functions hosted by FAVI, Friends of AVI.
The discussion we've chosen to launch this series is about the question of who is responsible for managing Australia's international relations.
If you're a joiner, if you get involved, and if you involve the people on the front line, the people who are most important and have a real insight into the issue, you can help change things. Managing foreign relations, government, parliament, very big role to play, but we the citizens have a very big role to play, and that's where AVI comes in. Get involved, they've got to see the wonders of the world, and they've got to make a contribution and try to make the world a better, a fairer and juster place.
That he'd been to see some friends recently, and the family was asking what he did, and he said, "I'm saving the world." And the 6-year-old a bit later said to his dad, "Does he know how big a job that is?" It is a big job, but I'm endlessly optimistic that if we connect with people in our own country and across the globe, that we can do it. And the great thing is that when we share ideas and we share our humanity, we don't lose anything ourselves, we only all gain. The stark reality that government can't fix everything and philanthropy can't fill the whole gap is in front of us all around the world. When we think about it differently, it helps us change our frame and see people as capable agents who want the same things for their families and for their lives that we do, rather than recipients of help. And that human-to-human connection is absolutely essential, because if we dare to imagine that we can save the world, the first thing we have to do is to show up, and that's what volunteers do.
It really grew exponentially from the moment I walked into AVI or rolled in about 10 years ago. And I fell in love with a group of people who wanted to learn, they wanted to give, they wanted to be shoulder to shoulder with people around the world. Go into the classroom and engage with these kids that have never been with their able-bodied peers in a classroom before, and show that both sides of the coin are benefiting from it. The mother has an incredible role to play in a kid with a disability who's in a community that has the opportunity to educate one kid in their family. And if they've got a disabled kid in that family, that's the last guy on the list. And so when you see somebody actually get out of the wheelchair and sit on the ground, all of a sudden they're seeing their kid. And until they see that, until they are side by side with that, and then they understand that the only difference besides the wheelchair between that life and the one there is education, that you can't direct that from above. So I think that the experiences that we've been able to provide through AVI, that is something that you can't pay for. That is the real emotional invested relationship between two people. I think that is the thing. When people reflect on who we are as a country, they reflect on that person.
So far as we can, we've got to turn up, we've got to be ourselves, we've got to be an example, and we've got to be true Australians, giving an example of help and love to people everywhere in the world.
So much about innovation isn't about new ideas. It's actually about adapting what's been learned all around the world, where the wonderful work of Uncle Roy is taking his favourite people to actually train are illiterate grandmothers, and he trains them to be solar engineers, and they're lighting up whole villages.
But I think just engage and know that the Friends of AVI is designed to encourage these kind of conversations. We are blessed with the kind of leaders on the stage tonight. We hope to have many more of these. When I reflect on our conversation tonight, I think of imagination, courage, generosity and love. That's what volunteering's about, that's what taking on big issues about, and things are eminently solvable if we do it in that way. So that's a fairly poor way of summing up what has been a remarkable conversation, I think. I think we'll all go home and reflect on all the comments we've heard tonight. Can you join me in thanking Michael Kirby, Rosemary Addis and Fearnley?